YouTube, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show off my latest addition in my workshop. I have upgraded myself and I have finally bit the bullet after years and years and years of having my sanders hooked up to my shop vac. I finally got myself a dust extractor by Festool. Now this is a big deal to me. This is huge. This is gonna take my sanding game up 100-fold. I just bought myself, this is like the Lamborghini of power tools. Festool is like the top of the line. Now I only have one sander by Festool because they are pretty expensive. I believe it's called the ETS 125. It's a orbital sander and I absolutely love this thing. And I've always wanted to pair it up with a dust extractor, but just couldn't afford it. So I'm going to show you guys today which dust extractor I bought by Festool. And I'm going to show you all the bells and whistles of this particular model. So let's get to it. Okay, before I go into talking about my new nifty Festool dust extractor, I'm going to show you guys what I've been using. Now, I'm not advocating for everybody to go out and buy a Festool dust extractor because they are extremely expensive. I'm just showing you, I'm excited because I've been doing this for 8 years and I've always wanted one, and it's really gonna help me with running my business more efficiently. So I just wanna put that up front. What I am going to show you is what I have been doing up to this point, and it's worked for me thus far. So if you're just starting out, please don't be intimidated with me showing you this new dust extractor. I'm going to show you what you can do if you're just starting out with refinishing furniture. You can buy yourself a $40 to $50 orbital sander like a Ryobi, like this one here, and you can hook it up to a shop vac. They have some attachments and you can kind of make your own dust extractor that way. I have been using all these years a 10-gallon shop vac, and what I've done is I've taken the hose. I did another YouTube video on this not too while ago about how to sand indoors, and this is what's helped me be able to sand year-round. I live in New Hampshire, I can't be outside all the time. And I've always rented. This is my first house. I'm in the basement. So a lot of things have changed for me in the last few months. And so I'm really excited to really set up a professional workshop. But what I've done in the past, like I said, I've taken my first Festool orbital sander. Like I told you, this is called the ETS 125 EQ. I don't know why they put all these little letters and numbers. Why can't they just call it the small Festool? Then we have the medium one, then we have the large one. No, they have to give these fancy letters and numbers. So that's what this one is. I call it, you know what it is? Basically, it's the least expensive orbital sander that they have. I spent $200 on this, which was astronomical to me to pay for a sander, but I've had it for 5 years and it's never failed me. Nothing has broken on it, and it's just been a stellar sander for me. So this is the other part of my shop vac. Yes, that is turquoise duct tape. And I sealed it with that, attached it to an arm from my shop vac. Here's my shop vac hose, and I hooked it on like that. And that's how I would sand indoors. It has worked for me. But I can tell that, you know, it could work better. I could find something better. So that's why I opted to invest in the Festool dust extractor. So first I just wanted to show you guys real quick what I've been doing before. And if you're just starting out, you can do this. It's really simple, and it'll allow you to get familiar with sanding and start out that way. I always advocate, start out basic, small. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and just if you really enjoy it as a hobby, then just build up your collection of power tools. It's taken me 8 years to get to this point to get a Festool dust extractor. So please, please, please don't feel like I'm telling you to go drop a ton of money on power tools. So let's get started. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm taking like a cast off. So we're gonna take my, oh, this has been on for so long. Festool sander, I am setting you free. Whoa, and I guess, look at that, I had, it looks like black electrical tape. Oh boy, told you, I've MacGyvered this thing so many times over the years. So we're gonna unwrap this, and you're no longer gonna be tied to a shop vac. We're going to attach this to the Festool dust extractor, which is behind me. And I'm gonna go through all the bells and whistles of this baby. It's sitting right down here. Oh, wow. Look at that, some dust around it. All right, so let's get to attaching this to the dust extractor. We're gonna give this a go. I haven't even used it yet, you guys. This is gonna be exciting. And I'm gonna go through the specs of this one right here. So let's do it. Okay guys, this is, let me introduce you to the Festool. This is the model number, here we go, it's another fancy one. CT MIDI, M-I-D-I. This is the box right here. That's the name of the one that I got, the model number. So there's five CT Festool dust extractors. In cost, or what level extractor this is, 5 being the most expensive, being the biggest and the Mac Daddy. I got the number 2 model, if that makes any sense. So the first model is around, I think, like $390. This was the second model high up, and this one was $640. I know, crazy, right? Thank you, stimulus. Yep, that's what I did with mine. So anyways, it is a very expensive piece of equipment. Now you can see why I haven't got one. And then the next one up, it goes to like high 700s. And then I think the most expensive one is close to $1,000. So crazy, yes, but well worth it. Just like my first Festool orbital sander, I still have it after 5 years. Well worth the money. So here it is here, the specs on this one. So this one, what sets this one apart from the first level of dust extractors that they have by Festool, this one has Bluetooth capability. So I anticipate in time, I'm hoping to keep upping my game with woodworking and things like that. All the sanders that Festool makes, most of them, come in a cordless option. I am buying all corded at this point just because of the cost, but when I get to that point where I might be buying some cordless sanders, they can be connected with the Bluetooth capability of this one. This one is a 3.96 gallon vacuum bag in this one. Comparison to my shop vac was a 10 gallon. So we're gonna see how well I'll do with downsizing with a vacuum bag. I mean, that's to be seen. I'm hoping that it should be adequate for what I use. They described this one as moderate use. The higher up models obviously have a bigger vacuum capacity. I think the highest one probably goes up close to 10 gallon. That's the one that I think is around $1,000. So this one has 3.96 gallon. This also, all of the CT models have the HEPA filtration system in them. This is so important. This is what really sets a Festool dust extractor apart from a shop vac. My shop vac does not have a HEPA filtration system. So what is that exactly? It's catching, I think the number that I read, 99.97 of all the dust particles that you're sanding are getting sucked into this dust extractor. A lot of professionals who do lead paint abatement use a high-end dust extractor like this because it is sucking up almost 100% of the dust particles. A lot of people who do flooring, sheetrock, things like that, mention using the Festool dust extractors. When I say this is top of the line, this is absolutely top of the line. So that's important when it comes to keeping your workspace clean and being able to work efficiently. And then also, probably most importantly, how much crap's getting into your lungs. So that's important for me as well. I've been doing this work a long time. And while I think I'm being pretty safe with the shop vac with the amount of sanding that I do, I needed to up my game in regards to my own personal safety with how much sanding I do. So that was another component with me making such a big purchase with this dust extractor. What else can I tell you about it? Oh, what's great about these dust extractors are the hoses. The hoses are static free and debris free. If you notice on my shop vac, it is full of just sawdust, gunk, everything you can think of. It's not very flexible, it's flimsy. It's got a hole in it that I tried to seal with duct tape. Yes. Funny things that I've done over time. So I guess the hose here is static free. And what's nice about this model, the hose curls up and can store on the top. The $300 model does not have that feature. And from what I read online on a whole bunch of like woodworking forums, that's been a big headache for people, was that the hose, there's like really nowhere to store it. So that was another reason for me buying the second model up, was being able to store the hose on the top. There's a space on the back where the extension cord, or the cord I should say, can roll up and be stored. The vacuum itself is underneath here. I already have it hooked up, so I'm not gonna, I don't know if I want to open it up. But anyways, it's under there. That's where you change it. And the vacuum bags, a 5-pack of them, I think runs around $35. Not too bad. The guy at Woodwork, where I bought this dust extractor, told me they have a lifelong vacuum bag that you can buy that's supposed to just last forever, and all you do is you open it kind of like a Ziploc bag and you can empty it out. So that might be an option for me in the future. I'm not sure yet if I want to make that investment. We'll see. The filter is kept right here on the side. And you can buy those, or you can rinse them out, or however you want to clean those. I've heard varying things on those. The guy at Woodwork said, oh, just clean it out yourself. I suppose if it gets super, super dirty, you're going to want to replace that. Put that in there. The other really cool feature on this dust extractor on the front is I get to increase the suction or decrease it. With my shop vac, you can't do that. It's just on and off, and that's it. So this way I will be able to control how powerful the dust extractor is gonna be. The gentleman at Woodcraft told me he never runs his on full blast on high. I guess there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 lights here, so 5 levels of suction. He said if he goes higher than the 3, he finds that his sander kind of pulls and kind of jumps around. And he said probably go between the 2 and the 3 level with the suction, and I'll have the best control with my sander on top of a piece of furniture. Also, what's great about there's a tool trigger startup on this. So what that means is when I hook up my sander to the dust extractor and I turn my sander on, this turns on. And then when I turn my sander off, this turns off. So they work in sync with one another, which is really cool. I usually would have to turn my sander off, turn the shop vac off, or do one or the other. It's kind of a headache when you're standing kind of far apart from them. Also, the shop vac is really loud, where I've started to use earplugs when I'm sanding. I've been told this is a lot quieter. We'll see once I get this thing revved up. I'm trying to think, what else can I tell you about it? I think that's it for all the specs. Oh, it's on wheels, which is nice for moving around a room, and it also has this nice brake mechanism So it sits right there, it won't move if you need to, and then if you need to release it, you just push that button there. You can either do that with your hand or with your foot. All right, so I think I've done enough chatting. I am gonna get this thing hooked up to my sander here. So you just hook it up there. And I'm gonna get some sandpaper, probably 150 grit. You guys are gonna see me start to sand a dresser, and you're gonna get my opinion afterwards, what I think. Okay, you guys, I'm really excited. Okay, I got everything set up. The dust extractor's over here. It's hooked up to my orbital sander. I'm gonna plug it in and we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see more of top of the dresser, okay? Let's do it. Okay, so let's go. I'm setting my Okay, did you guys hear that? I turned off the sander first, and then a few seconds later, the dust extractor turns off, which is really cool. What it's doing is it's clearing out any remaining dust that's in the hose. So what I'm noticing first, I kind of had to find my setting right for my sander. I had to rev that up a little bit higher. Holy quiet. This is really quiet. I love that already. It's not this high-pitched grinding sound that I have with the shop vac. I'm also noticing I'm getting great suction. Like I have like more control. It feels like the sander knows what it's doing. Before, when I had this hooked up for the shop vac, I always felt like they were fighting one another, if that makes any sense, because the shop vac, I think, just gives one level of suction. And it just always felt like I was trying to go like, okay, wait a second, no, work with me, work with me. So I always felt like I had to have both my hands on the sander to control it. This one, I feel like I could almost do it one-handed, and there's such even control. You can really tell they're supposed to work together. There's just such an amazing difference. I can feel my sander moving smoother and just so much more control over the top of the dresser. I'm just amazed right now at how this feels. It feels so different for me. It's actually a lot. I don't know, I'm just losing my thoughts here because I'm just amazed at how well this feels. It just feels a lot better. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on a time-lapse video. I'm gonna quit gushing about my new little toy here. So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, you guys, I just got done with my first dresser top sanding for the first time with a Festool dust extractor. I gotta tell you, I am honestly truly amazed by this. Check this out. I've not touched this top since I just finished sanding it. I'm gonna put my hand on it. I'm gonna bring my hand up to you. I'm not kidding you. No dust. It's crazy. Before, there's like nothing. Before, when I used to have my shop vac hooked up to my sander, and if I did like that after I sanded, there would be an absolute coating of sand dust, and I would have to take a brush, this is why I got this brush, I would have to take this brush and go like this, suck it up with my shop vac, do it like this, suck it up with my shop vac, and do that over and over and over again until I got all the dust particles off the top after I sanded. I'm telling you, there's nothing here. It's like so amazingly clean and smooth and beautiful, and I am absolutely in love with this. So I'm going to conclude this tutorial. It is almost 1 a.m. I'm really tired and I need to get some sleep, but the noise is minimal on this dust extractor. It sucks the dust amazingly, and I just can't wait to keep using this and be able to work smarter and not harder anymore. This is fantastic. So if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, if you're new to furniture restoration, take a peek around my channel. I try to teach from a level of if you're just starting out, and also those who have already started to kind of dabble into restoring antique furniture. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial or the dust extractor, please drop it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you guys have a dust extractor, what do you think about it? And then like, what model do you have? I'm curious what everybody else has out there. And any more like tricks and tips for me on how to use it. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's always helpful to know anything else that I am forgetting. Again, this is my first time using it, first time having one, and I'm absolutely in love. 2 thumbs up here, 5 stars, a 12 out of a 10. I'm enamored with this, so I'm so excited. Thank you so much. If you guys are already following me, thank you so much. Like and subscribe. The subscribe button is in the lower right-hand corner. It's a red button. You can't miss it. You can also find me on Instagram. I post a lot of my photos before and after, what I'm doing. Also crazy things with my kids and my dog Biscuit. And you can find me at, right here, Bethany.Yusuf. And then you can also find me on Facebook, my business page. There I post progress of every project that I'm working on, and also my shop is listed on my Facebook business page. So every piece of furniture that I have for sale and that's available, you can find there. And that's at Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. Thank you guys for joining me so much. Hope you learned a lot. I know I'm just on cloud now. I'm not, see, I can't even talk. I'm cold down here and I'm tired. I am on cloud 9. I'm very excited to continue to work with this. And Festool, awesome job, you guys. Go green. See you guys later. Bye.